Hey guys, welcome to a tutorial, a building tutorial here, Big Randy 000, but welcome, and we're going to do some ceiling lights today, and we're going to do like a bit of a variety of them. So first, you might want to build a building or find a ceiling, or you don't even need to do any of that. You can just make the ceiling lights by themselves, but if you have like a piece of roofing or ceiling or whatever you want to call it, then it might be easier to scale it down and see how it works. So if you have a tall ceiling, I recommend you make lights that come down quite a bit. But if you have a very, if you have a building that has a very short ceiling, this is kind of short and medium-ish, so you don't want your lights to hang down quite a long ways. Hanging lights do look pretty cool, but you can make your lights look pretty cool regardless. We are using F3X, but you can also do this on Studio. You just go to Home, and then there's all your tools. So it's pretty much the same thing. If you have any questions of F3X or Studio, just let me know in the comments. And you can search up this plugin under the library and then plugins and then install it. But anyways, let's get started. So it's been a while since I've built anything. But let's go ahead and let the workspace load. But it's okay, now that's done. So let's go ahead and build a hanging light. So what we're going to do is get a cylinder mesh, and we're going to make it down really, really thin. You might end up with something like this. No need to panic, though. We're going to get this super thin here. So we're going to do like 0.5. Hopefully this is the right one, 0.5. And then we're going to color it black. And this might be thick in your opinion. You can make it thinner if you want. But we're going to make this 10 tall. And this is going to be like a rope. I actually do want to make this a bit thinner. That way it doesn't look like a super thick rope. And you don't need to make this black either. You can make it however you'd like. So now we're going to bring this back up. Alright, so this is going to be a real simple type of light. And it's only going to be a couple parts. You do need a bit of experience of solid modeling, which I'll show you how to do everything in this tutorial. So anyways, you basically just make a wide wooden cylinder or whatever design you'd like. Again, guys, you don't have to exactly copy me, but I'm going to do like a dark, nice wood for like a nice modern home store. And then 2, I think that's the right one, 2. That's too thick. Let's do 1 by 1. A little bit too thin, I would say. Just go ahead and play with it and see if you can find a good size. And let's make it slightly longer to 2.5. Yeah, it seems good. But as you can see, this is not actually a light yet. So what we're going to do next is create a block and then put it down slightly. That way we can put it inside of it. And then also make it slightly smaller. And then we can scale it, put it a little bit out there. That way it deletes the whole bottom of the thing. So now what we're going to do next is we're going to negate this part, which will allow us to create an inside of whatever that part is. So if, with that large part nearly covering the whole thing, we get like a giant hole in the middle of this thing, which is what we want. It'll look pretty cool. But anyways, now what we're going to do is, since that's a solid model on its own, you may have to get some new parts to do this. But now we're going to make the actual light. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of put it in here. Doesn't really matter because they can't really see it anyway. So we're going to do 1.1, I believe. Yeah, it works just fine. And we're going to turn this white or whatever color you want for your lights. And then we're going to add a spotlight. And now we're going to have to figure out which way it's going to point. So let's make this a bit longer of a range. So it's obviously pointing in the wrong direction. So let's try bottom, back, front. No, front. We just did front, top, left. So it's right then. Okay, so now it's pointing downwards. And we can also make the angle larger so it covers a bigger area. And you can completely adjust what kind of lighting it does. So if you're in Studio, you just click the part, and then you can insert an object into it, which is called Spotlight. I believe it's Spotlight. It's something like that. But if it's not, and then you can just configure it for your properties. And then I recommend you have your Explorer and stuff open if you want to do that. Again, guys, use whatever tools you want. So that's pretty much it for that kind of light. it is pretty nice. You can add all the designs and stuff you want to it, but that's nice and simple. It looks nice. Oh, one thing I forgot is add neon to it, so it just looks cooler. So as you can see there, gives it a nice glow to it. It makes it actually seem like a light. That's completely up to you again, but it just really adds a lot to it just for the neon part. If you do have your graphics lowered, you won't be able to see the neon. I think you have to have them on 8 or higher out of 10. So anyways, next, I never made these things before, but I somewhat know how they work. This is kind of the same type of light, or can't talk. This is kind of the same type of light, except now what we're going to do is create a light that's like a ball. It's like a giant ball, but we're going to remove that mesh and insert no, not a cylinder. What am I thinking? Sphere. And that's a little large, so let's go down to 4. And this is a mesh, by the way, so it doesn't C-frame automatically. You kind of have to C-frame all sides to be the same. You can put it most kind of in there, but it might clip through a bit. So now what we're going to do is like turn this into white, and then you can add neon to it, or what we're going to do is there's a certain way to build these, and then we can add a glass layer to it. So like let's do 4.3. So basically it's going to be a glass shell, and then the ball is going to be inside there, which is going to be the actual light. What am I doing? Okay, so plastic, and then transparency. So as you can see there, it looks pretty cool. 0.5. Yeah, and you can make that ball smaller or larger or whatever the heck you want. So as you can see, it's kind of glowing a bit right there. You can also make it less or whatever you want like to do with it. 0.1 actually kind of makes it look... Oh, wait. I forgot if you put it at 0, it's going to make it less. So if we want more light coming out of it, we want a higher transparency. You can really see it's glowing right there. So let's move this over. That way we can test the dynamic light. It doesn't really matter which block you put it in, just because it's pretty much going to be the same anyway. I don't recommend you turn shadows on, because otherwise you might experience clipping with the glass of the light. And then we can also increase the range, and you can also turn up brightness if you want. Ooh, that is a really bright light. You probably don't want your lights this bright, but as you can see, it's nice and realistic. It glows as it comes down. It does reach a certain point where if it's down too far, which you don't want your lights down this far, they'll like hit people's heads and they'll jump on it, and it won't end so well. So as you can see, it's pretty late at night, and it's kind of a school day, so sorry. I apologize if I am a bit tired or being like a bit lazy with my building or not that best quality. But here's some examples of ceiling lights for you guys. These are real simple, by the way. I'm just going to call this a basic tutorial. I can get into a more advanced tutorial later. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas for this. Make sure not to try to avoid requesting ideas that I've already done, so you can like check the tutorials playlist of building tutorials and see what I've done already. But it's okay if you do. I mean, I can always remake it or make a better one, because there is a couple tutorials that weren't that great, or like their quality was bad, or they had a bunch of mistakes. So anyways, make sure to check out my other tutorials and my playlist and my other Roblox videos if you guys are interested. I don't code or do, well, I do a little bit of graphics design. I should do more of those tutorials, but so for example, a really good one that I made is this home store tutorial. You know, it's real basic, but it looks really nice and cool. I've made a house tutorial, which was actually my most successful one. I mean, you can check out this YouTube place on my profile if you want. But anyways, enough ranting about random things. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video if you guys want more tutorials, and make sure to leave some comments, of course. But I'll see you guys later. As you can see, there's lots of content that I've made. I recommend you check it out. And I hope this helped you out and broadened your horizons.